Hey guys, gals, and others. It's the Cannabis Crone. One of the things, if you notice, my greeting is always, hey guys, gals, and others. The reason I say that is because I know that there are people who consider themselves gender fluid, who maybe don't relate to the gender that they were born into. I realize that, and that's exactly why I want to recognize and say, hey, it's okay. Whoever you are, welcome to my channel. But there's been a lot of things that I've seen on YouTube that have been concerning to me, and it took me a while. I had to think about what I was going to say with this. And so I wrote down a few things, and I'm just going to read what I have written down, and hopefully you can relate to it. And so I don't go off on tangents, I'm just going to try and stay focused, because you all know how hard it is for me to stay focused. I am a biological woman. My gender is an over-marginalized group of human beings that have been bought and sold, treated as property, objectified, and vilified. We as women have experienced a lifetime of pain, the kind of pain that would bring a biological male to his knees. We have bled. We have given birth and ripped babies from our womb. We have breastfed our young and raised entire communities up from the ashes. We have never had a seat at the table, so we built our own. We fought for our right to vote, for our right not to be beaten, for our right to have equal pay, for our right to play professional sports, for our right to exist in our own space, the space we fought for over centuries of time and decades in the making. We nurture our families, we care for everyone else first, and we attached our oxygen mask last. Transgendered women need to understand that real women have fought for every right we have today, like the right to vote, the right to bodily autonomy, the right to work either outside or inside of the home, or both, the right to equal pay, still not happening, the right to reproductive health, and the right to simply be women. You do not get to change my name. You do not get to change my label, and you do not get to change my definition. My definition has been 55 years in the making. I have been a sister, a daughter, an auntie, a mom, and a grandmother. I have been a maiden, mother, and now crone. And we women fought long and hard to earn our place at the professional sports table. We fought for the right to play baseball, softball, basketball, soccer, hockey, to small crowds for less pay. But it was our safe space to compete in as women with women. When biological men try and force their way into women's sports, even if they have the spirit of a woman, in spite of knowing that this is an unfair advantage for the women who used to be men, it is a classic example of toxic masculinity, because this was a safe space for women. There are certain things that we can't deny biologically. When a man transitions into a female, no matter how many things they may cut, surgeries they may endure, no matter how many hormones are pumped into their bodies, they will always be biologically male. This just will not change. They are genetically male. There is a genetic memory that does not change when these superficial things like the surgeries and the hormone treatments are done. The bodies are still biologically male. This is no one's fault. It's just a fact. It's not to blame, and I'm not pointing the finger and dissing anybody. This is just a fact. So if a transgendered woman wishes to play professional sports, then they should mobilize their community like we did way back when we mobilized our community. And they need to form a third league, a transgendered league, whatever you want to name it, whatever you want to call it. And that would be fair. Because we fought for the space that we have, so there's no reason why the transgendered community can't fight for a space of their own. But don't take our space away. That's not the way to do things. And it's really kind of pitting two over marginalized groups against one another. And of course, this is what our country does best. It's a way to divide us. It's a way for division. If you are truly woman in spirit, if you're truly a woman in spirit, then as a woman, you would understand how unfair it is to demand your seat at the table only to steal the chairs from the women already seated there. Again, I say that, when we didn't have a table in the sports arena, we built our own. So it's time for you to build your own. We have fought for centuries. You have issues. You have things in the transgendered community that you want to accomplish. Accomplish them. Fight for them. But don't try and steal what we've already worked for as women. Also, some of the things that I'm noticing on YouTube are, transgendered females who I have some questions about dissing real women. And I don't think the true transgendered community would do that. I don't think real spiritual women would do that to other women. I do think that there is a number of, if you're wondering what that noise is, it is my cat. Using the litter box. Psst, 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 psst. Gotta wait until I'm filming to do that. Oh my god. Cats are so cats. They're so feline. But anyway, again, there's my tangent. It's just very important to realize that a lot of the people that are representing the trans community may not even be trans. You have people like Dylan Mulvaney, who instead of wanting to really embrace womanhood, real womanhood, is trying to embrace girlhood. A 26-year-old man is transitioning into a little girl. He wants to dress up in, little dresses and be a caricature of a woman, because women don't really act like that. You have Jeffrey Marsh, who's an absolute creep, who's there. That is not a transgendered woman. That is a creepy man who is really trying to have inappropriate conversations with children. These are not the people that you want to represent the trans community. So, maybe within the community have some people step up, some real leaders, and mobilize the community to start making these changes. Because I think that every human being deserves respect and deserves to live a life full of the things that they are passionate about and joyful about. Everybody should be respected as being a sentient, flesh and blood human creature. I truly believe that. I've always believed that, and I always will believe that. But I also think that things are getting a little bit ridiculous out there. And that if we really all sat down and really listened to each other, we would realize that the women's sports leagues need to stay where they belong. And that's in the hands of the women who fought long and hard for them. Again, there should be a third sports league, and I'm all in support of a transgendered sports league. I would totally support it. But that's something that your community has to get together and do, just as the female community got together and fought for our seat at the table to be able to vote, to be able to play sports, to be able to be a judge, a lawyer, a doctor, to be able to even go to college, you know. And as for that whole Dylan Mulvaney passing tampons out, that was sort of offensive to me, because as a woman who bled for, what was it? I bled for approximately 40 some years of my life, 7 days a month, severely, with the cramps, with everything. And not only that, but I had to pay for my menstruation products, and they add a period tax. So men get their Viagra paid for under their insurance, but we can't do that with feminine products, even though, like, none of us signed up for this. I know I didn't sign up to bleed that much. I didn't sign up to have horrible cramps. I didn't sign up to have to pay all this money to stick something between my legs to absorb what I'm bleeding out. And yet we are not only forced to pay for feminine products, but there's an extra tax added to it. I mean, you know, did you know that? And maybe that's another thing. If, you know, if you are a spirit woman born into a male body and you're transitioning over to be a woman, maybe read up on some women's history and really see what we as a gender and a culture have been through over the years. I think that's really important to realize who it is that you're joining up with. That's just my 2 cents. Again, this whole video is coming from a true place of integrity in my heart. I believe everything that I've said. I support all of the communities, but I really don't want to see us pitted against one another, and that seems like what's happening. So let's really be careful for that. I hope everyone has a beautiful evening. And don't forget, with the world the way it is, let's start where we are, see what needs tending, and do what we can. Namaste and blessed be.